Hey guys, welcome to Between Nerds Podcast. You are watching this episode the week before Halloween. So, Miles Morales here, Aldo Mendez, and today we are going to be recording episode, what is this, 115?
115 of Between Nerds, man.
Holy, I can't believe that we are on episode 115.
Drew,
when did Drew Elise get here? This is ridiculous. Anyways, happy Halloween, everybody. It's my favorite holiday of the year. Besides maybe Christmas, but I like Christmas because I like giving gifts.
Yeah. I really have accepted Halloween as one of and I think it's because we do our party every year.
It's better as an adult.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot better as an adult.
And we do our party and we do hang out. And this year is my turn to the party, and I'm excited. I'm excited about Halloween as well. My girl took Saeed, and she also went with her cousin and her daughter. So my niece cousin kind of thing.
Right.
They went to the zoo and they had a Halloween thing.
Vene Sosa took Zaid Mendez to the zoo. Honestly, I wanted to go to the zoo. I didn't know this, but I feel like I heard passively that the El Paso Zoo allows BYOB or something like that, or they might sell alcohol there. And I think that'd be a cool date. You know what I mean? Like me and Karen.
You know what? I was there. Probably a year ago. I wanna say. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember any booze drinking.
Oh, never mind. Somebody told me. I can't remember who it was. I can't remember where it was, but maybe they're full of it.
Probably.
Anyways, episode 115 is over. The High Dive exclusively streamed anime produced by Light & Films called Call of the Night. Call of the Night ended 2 weeks ago as of recording this.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And it was wild because I started watching the dub, and I was like...
And then there's only 8 episodes available.
No, but even before that, I was like, man, should I switch it? It's I'm really hating the dub right now.
It misses timing. It's really missing this comedic timing about the Japanese.
It's a little tiny millimeter off the sound of when it's supposed to take place, as far as the conversation goes. Because the conversation, I like your tweet about the in music being before though. please YouTube Shorts. You guys are great.
Spam all of our YouTube Shorts, please. I am begging you.
YouTube had us in an emotional roller coaster this week.
Yeah, past 2 weeks. Okay, so yeah, I'm glad Aldo brought that up because when was it? Did we talk about it with the Jacob episode that we had an Instagram video that hit 20,000 views within a matter of 10 hours?
Correct.
Okay, so then the Jacob episode comes out on the Daft Punk anime, and then that YouTube short within 4 hours hit 1.2K views. And that's significant for us, especially because we're trying to get monetized on YouTube. The two highest monetization platforms are YouTube and TikTok. And TikTok gets a lot of grief because producers, content creators, end up making 1/5 of total revenue created from their own videos. YouTube is more closer to 50-50. I think it's 60-40, 70-30, something like that.
Yeah.
So
and they also, the prerequisites, you've already been making content for if you meet the requirements, you have made enough content to meet those requirements. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So I tell my brother, I guess, because he's not really tech savvy and stuff like that. I'm whatever Google makes, bro, and whatever Google's with, because he was asking me about YouTube TV.
Okay.
He's apparently it's pretty good, bro. Apparently something, and I'm well, dude, they owned by Google. You know what I'm saying? It's Google is not gonna be putting out crap. And you know what I'm saying? That's why we're trying to be on YouTube too.
Yeah.
So follow us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment your horny thoughts about this fucking anime, because this anime is horny. This anime is horny. And what else? Instagram, Twitter,
all Between
Facebook.
Nerds, one word. Don't forget about our monthly giveaway. We're getting all these. We keep getting these videos and clips that keep going semi. They keep spiking in virality, but then we're still not getting as many comments as we should, and then especially not from subscribers. So we do a monthly giveaway. So if you are a subscriber on YouTube and you leave a comment on any video on YouTube during that month,
Drew used mask, we'll give it to you. Bro.
I will give this. Yeah, please don't ask for it. I'm begging you. Like I will send it to you, but please don't ask for it.
Yeah, 43-year-old Chuck watching this from somewhere in Canada.
Yeah, exactly. From Minnesota. Yeah. And if you are subscribed on YouTube, leave a comment on any video to include YouTube Shorts during that month, and your on your YouTube privacy settings, your subscriptions are made public so that we can verify you're a subscriber. You will be entered into our monthly giveaway.
We might have to get rid of that. We have to find out how else they're subscribed to the channel, or not even care about subscribing to the channel, or just commenting in the channel. Just commenting.
Honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
It sucks though, because like I said, YouTube had us in this emotional roller coaster, just continuously checking our YouTube studio, and we're taking a look at our analytics, and like 90% of the viewers that watch this
are not subscribed.
I'm not subscribed.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
100% are male.
Yeah,
100% of our viewership is male.
but if you're a girl nerd, welcome as a viewer, because this anime is pretty.
I love this anime. I liked it a lot.
It has very I don't know, for an anime that wants to have like a female protagonist to just for nerds to drool over. I don't know. She makes a good character.
I think she does, because they actually treat her like a person.
Yeah, exactly.
which is mind blowing for like.
Exactly.
So Call of the Night is originally a manga written by Kotoyama, and Kotoyama also has a series produced in 2014 called Dagashi Kashi, and Call of the Night is maybe one of like my favorites. Sits in one of my favorite subgenres of anime, right? And it reminds me of FLCL, the Monogatari series, and it's like, so the kid's 14. It's a coming of age story about like trying to find your sexuality and like trying to understand yourself in an adult's world. So it reminded me a lot of FLCL, like the original FLCL. Our episode of FLCL, which was like a year and a half ago, like almost 2 years ago,
is the only piece of review, I guess, in the internet about FLCL.
Yeah, literally. You look up to the sequels. You look up reviews or input about the FLCL Adult Swim original sequels, and there's nothing besides like our podcast episode.
Yeah.
So the sequels are dog. Like, just absolutely terrible. But the original is a 6-episode miniseries.
It has a sauce to it.
Yeah, it's very stylized. It's got this cool grain. It's a bunch of night tones. It's the same plot. Like, I think in that one he might have been even younger. Like, I think in that one he might have been 8. Like 12 or something like that. Well,
he looks younger.
He was sexually active, or like he was sexually interested. So he's like 11, 12, 13.
That's right.
But like very like even younger. Like Ko being 14 is already an issue, but I think in FLCL he was younger. And the plot to FLCL was a beautiful, bombastic, high-spirited woman just bops him over the head with a bass guitar one day, and he discovers that he's got alien interdimensional superpowers. Call of the Night is similar. It's a boy, disgruntled, not really sure about his place in society. He doesn't like any of the girls at his school, so he just stopped going to school completely and starts just wandering the nights of his suburb of Tokyo.
Yeah, 14-year-old like sneaking out and stuff like that. I mean,
Aldo Mendes did that. He's fine.
No, dude, honestly, I was just about to say, like, me growing up, like, I hung out, like, right in front of the house I lived, which was my grandfather's house, who I lived with there with, like, my mom, you know, several of my cousins, several of my aunts, you know what I'm saying? And I used to be outside, out front, playing until probably, like, 2 a.m. every day.
The streets?
Yeah, in the streets. But, like, hearing somebody, like, sneaking out like that, and I don't know why, but, like, this kind of, like, already plot setting in the first episode is so good. It does so good to the
feeling of being out at night.
To the anime, because you already got rid of a lot of characters, like the parents. I fucking hate that he's 14, but I wish he was a little bit older. But then again, when he's older, it doesn't make sense. Like, he's at night sneaking out.
I think the really kind of, like, morally gray, mostly like black thing is that, like, 14 or 15 is the age of consent in Japan. And I think that's the point they're trying to get across about his age.
Really?
Yeah. So it's weird and doesn't live up to our standards like at all. But I think that's the point in like the creative decision to make him 14. So when I mean it's the difference in FLCL is the exact same plot, except in Call of the Night she's a vampire, the girl he falls in love with.
To be a new anime, that's taking a risk. Too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, remember No Game No Life?
Yeah.
And they're looting the sister, and she's like 11.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like it gets even worse.
I know, but like when you told me about the vampire stuff aspect before watching it, I was like,
it's very light on the vampire like aesthetic.
Yeah.
A little bit. The only thing about it being about vampires is that it's about like learning about. It's about discovering yourself in the middle of the night when nobody's actually out.
It reminds me of Blade.
Does it?
Yes.
God, I really need to watch Blade because you bring this up all the time, and I still haven't watched Blade.
And honestly, like, and we've talked about this before. Like when you were like, dude, honestly, I haven't seen Ghostbusters ever. I'm like, you don't need to. It's a thing of its time. Like you have to be there, kind of thing.
Yeah.
This movie, it is also because the CGI. You're gonna notice it right away. Like, but
in Blade.
Yeah, in Blade.
Okay.
So, but like the movie for when it was done, like that movie was pretty good, and it's not super like dumb movie. It's a alright vampire movie.
Honestly, like I thought about watching it the other day, but I'm like, I just hope that they finally get the production for Blade off the ground soon, so maybe I can just watch the new like Herschel Walker Blade instead of just like going back. You know what I mean?
I've seen Blade. Yeah, the new one.
And God, what point was I trying to make? In Call of the Night, what I like
FLCL,
about what I like about it compared to FLCL is FLCL is about a kid desperately wanting to be an adult and wanting everybody else to see him as an adult, and he thinks the window to that is through like sexuality almost, right? Call of the Night's the opposite. So the characters are the same, but the writing perspective is a lot more of adult perspection into the kid. So it's a lot more of like decades old vampires and secret detectives and teachers or what have you, and them asserting their thoughts and their influence on what a kid should be doing. So FLCL felt like when I watched it when I was 12, I was like, that's me. That's literally fucking me, right?
I'm so horny. I can't. I don't want to do it myself. Yeah.
But Call of the Night's a lot more like, whoa. I want you for your body, Cocoon. Stop trying to fall in love with me. Which, like, as a 14-year-old, what we know about media in general is it's just kind of like you fall in love, then you hook up, then you have kids, and then family. Well, the family portion's probably somewhere in there. Yeah. And then Call of the Night's kind of the opposite, because Call of the Night feels like adult storytelling because it's like she's a vampire. He's got very tasty, select, rare blood, which is kind of not gone into more because it's not that important, really. But she's attracted to him physically because of his blood type. He would like to give that up to her. He wants to give up his sexuality, but he wants to fall in love first because he thinks that's what that means.
But they have a conversation about it. They're like, the whole thing about, if I'm not mistaken, the motivation that drives Cocoon,
Koyamori.
Yeah, Koyamori. Is that he wants to become a vampire because that was his. And this is episode 1. It happens like within like 30 seconds.
I love episode 1 of Call of the Night could be like a classic all in of itself.
I told you about the Roku background.
Yeah,
like throughout the entire thing. This anime, for what it is about, is less than what you like this anime for. If I make any sense.
Can you go into it deeper?
This the plot of this anime, it's good.
Yeah.
But like, and it's good, and you should like it. It gets better at the end, but like, that is completely different to what the intent of like the whole imagery of this anime is.
Can I have an example? Can you use it in a sentence?
I feel like it's more visually working together than plot wise.
I felt the opposite.
Really?
I think the character modeling is super plain and boring.
I just thought that, like, all these fucking frames of, like, like say this is the character's head. Like sometimes they use it like at the end of like the frame, and you have like this empty
the
space.
blocking, like the visual
Yeah,
directing.
Yeah, exactly. And then all the beautiful scenery and stuff like that.
That reminded me more of the Monogatari series.
Yes, as well as the music. But then,
I figured out why the music reminds me of the Monogatari series.
What's up?
So the chief director is Tetsuya Miyanashi, the codenamed director for the Call of the Night anime, produced by Light & Filmed, is Tomoyuki Itamori. Tomoyuki Itamori's IMDb page.
Did the music?
No, it's the entire Monogatari series.
Oh,
Everything from like Nisa Monogatari onwards, that's his whole like working background. So that's Nisa Monogatari Black, Monogatari second season, Hana Monogatari, the rest of them, like all of them. Like he's the guy. So I was like, why can I not just scratch this itch that this is just the Monogatari series? And this is why, partially. And I think that's interesting because I think their plots are very similar. All they're talking about blocking and like visual direction, and I agree completely. Like the Monogatari series is literally about a boy walking around a town that's empty during the day because everyone's at work or at school, and he's just fucking around.
But see, I like the plot direction in Monogatari compared to Call of the Night. In Call of the Night, I found myself cringing at this like first 6 episodes, because the first 6 episodes is just horny understandings.
The very first episode, I think the metaphors are very, very on the nose.
Yeah.
Like very on the nose.
It's not something like Konosuba where it's like it's
exactly.
like a innuendo kind of thing almost.
Well, Konosuba's hilarious too.
Yeah.
Like there's only so many Konosubas.
But Konosuba's humor and perfect humor is like not so on the nose. It's just like, stop being a slut, Aqua.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But the main metaphor, for me at least, is the comparing, like wanting somebody physically and wanting to like fall in love with somebody, right? And that is shown explicitly through Nazuna, the vampire, and Ko, right? So Ko has this issue where like girls at his school will have a crush on him and he doesn't like them back. Like he's not like sexually attracted to anybody really, but he desperately wants to feel like the feeling of falling in love. Nazuna, as a vampire that strolls around the night explicitly and has like a healthy, drinking appetite, she likes playing video games, she's a fun, easygoing, cool gal, you know what I mean? She sees Ko, instantly seduces him, air quotes seduces him, tastes his blood, and she gets a piece of that dick, and she's like, hey, yo, you're not going nowhere.
And the way you compare it to FLCL, like that little kid's superpower, it was just how horny this bitch could get him.
Yeah.
So I think that's why the blood is even more tasty, because like this guy is like,
that's never explicitly said, but I think that's a cool fan
that's
theory.
the context,
I
right?
I like that sentiment. I think it's not wrong. That could totally fit.
I
don't
thought
think
that
that's
was a
wrong.
context. Yeah.
So the metaphor is like, if you've ever been in that kind of situation before, well, you like somebody
And they like
like
you back.
No. Well, I was gonna say the opposite.
Oh.
Like y'all have been hooking up for a while. You've been on a couple
okay,
dates.
okay.
One person in the party is kind of like, yo, we should take this to the next level. I think you're cool. We should make this official. Or the person like, nah, I wanted you physically. It's weird that you're trying to fall in love with me. Get the fuck away from me.
It's not weird.
Which is
Yeah.
So, but like that's the metaphor, is that like it's a metaphor for like friends with benefits kind of. Like,
Yeah.
That's what Call of the Night is. It's literally a story about like this vampire just wanting to tie down this dope blood sample, but like not wanting to like date him because he's fucking 14 and that would be weird.
And then my point was gonna be about is that when he first gets bitten after episode one is awesome because
episode 1.
Some shit happens with him being like, hey, I want to be in contact with you. I don't have a phone, but she has like an old ass fucking phone that's a brick.
episode 2.
That's episode 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So they get to her apartment, they lay down, and then she continues to suck his blood while he's asleep, right?
You're mixing up 1 and 2. So like 1, she offers to like massage him.
You're right.
And she's like, hey, young boy, while you're out in the middle of the night, let's go back to my place and let's massage. Me, I'm like, hey, yo, she's trying to buck a 14-year-old.
And the angles is just fan servicey like 80% of the time.
Oh, something else about your point earlier before I forget it, about the difference between the dub and the sub. They miscast the dub voice actor for Nazuna. Nazuna in the sub, her Japanese voice actor has like this like grungy, like smoker kind of quality to her vocal quality, right? Nazuna in the dub is perfectly fine. Yeah, but it's just normal anime girl. Like it could be anybody, right? Like so you're missing like that kind of like she really is a woman of the night aspect to it.
What is she, like 100?
She said she'd only been a vampire for decades.
Okay.
Like, and she doesn't even say that until like episode 13 in passing.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, I don't know if she was like, she looks like she could be in her what, like late teens, early 20s, and then add decades on top of that. That she's like what 50, 60, but looks like she's 20.
Yeah. So, anyways, to my initial point about how when he first gets bitten, his initial worry is like, why am I not a vampire? And then she starts going into the spiel of like, oh well, you know, it's weird. It's like people have that shit mistaken all the time. Why would you bite somebody and make him like your relative and blah blah blah?
A lot of fantasy horror things, when they're taking from common tropes like vampires, they throw their own little twist on it. The twist in Call of the Night is like you don't turn into a vampire unless you're in love with that vampire.
Correct.
So yeah,
very very Dio shit. Like apparently everybody was falling in love with Dio because they all turned vampires.
Well, a big part about Dio, especially in Stone Ocean, is that like he's kind of like omnisexual. Like he doesn't even have like a type,
he's
a
fucking
sexuality.
Everything.
You,
castle,
I'm God. I'm gorgeous. You don't want to fuck me? Like that's Dio.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't believe. Take a mental note of this one. For the Nerd Down, if we have time to do a Nerd Down, we are recording on a Sunday, so we should have time. I did want to talk about the second core for Stone Ocean.
I haven't watched it.
I'll go over it lightly.
Okay.
Because I'd already read it,
I know
too.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I'd already read it, too. So, yeah. So, we'll put a pin in that one. And, so Call of the Night, I like it a lot. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I were to, like, give it a number rating, which I normally don't like doing, but, like, sometimes it's, like, it feels like the only way to do it. You know what I mean? Like, I'd give it, like a 6, 7, closer to a 7. Like a tight 7. You know what I mean? Like a really, really secure 7. But, like, the things that it reminds me of are, like, 9s, 10s in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I have a Nisa Monogatari, like, playmat sitting up to our right off frame. Baka Monogatari Season 1 is one of my favorite anime ever. Besides the pilot, I think that was our very first episode.
Yeah, no, they're really good anime. I watched, I think, 3 of the series.
I think you watched 3 seasons.
Yeah. Time to get to another one though. That'll be nice. They're just super.
But that was hard.
they're intensive. Like they're intensive.
There's
in
no
dialogue.
There's no dub, so you're just and like every piece of dialogue feels quotable. So you're just really there, like with a notepad. Like, what does it say? What did she say?
And to my point of like the story thing, like the storytelling. Okay, I'm not gonna go into the storytelling because we just did go over the storytelling about what the plot is. But like we see a lot of like amazing night.
I do love the scenery. Like the colors are really cool.
Crazy. The way they use like water in there, like it is feeling fucking super cool.
The color schemes are cool because it's that real like Florida nighttime aesthetic from the 80s. You know what I mean? It's like that Vice City color scheme. It's like these neon blues and pinks and like purples and
the fact that him being 14 years old, 14 years old, starts to fade away.
Yeah.
Like, it starts to fade away after, like, the 6th episode or maybe 5th episode. I'm like, oh, wow, they're just going out like a regular adult.
The last time I'll bring up the plot, or, like, the synopsis to the plot, is that, like,
Oh, no, we can talk about it. I was just saying.
The conclusion at the end of episode 1, which describes the plot from here on out, is that he wants to be a vampire because when he meets Nazuna, he sees her as a free, fun-loving, no constrained being that can just do whatever she wants to do, right? So him trying to find himself as an adult, he doesn't want to do that boring school thing. He doesn't want to go to college and get a boring desk job and have like bills and all this stupid stuff. So he wants to be like fun and free like Nazuna is. And he sees the solution to having that future is becoming a vampire. And as we described earlier, to become a vampire, you have to fall in love. So from here on out, his only goal is to fall in love with Nazuna so that like once she sucks his blood he can become a vampire. Nazuna is not down for that falling in love idea, but she said, hey, your blood's still delicious, so like if you keep putting out, I'll keep taking it. So that's the plot.
Yeah, that's the plot. And also he like the whole thing of sucking his blood is very like sexual and shit.
Oh yeah, there's like a half episode just describing about how it's both like physically like I need to do this to eat and not die, but it's also like sexual in nature at the same time. Like they described that for like half an episode.
He gets post nut clarity.
Oh, he does. It's super like he grunts and wiggles and they'll be in a full blown argument.
Suck my neck. I need to think straight.
Yeah. Like they'll be in a full blown argument. She's like she's always wearing just like short shorts and like just like a leather bra top almost over her like black trench coat. So normally you don't see it, but when she does, it's just like she's not wearing a lot of clothes anyways. But like they'll be in a full blown argument. She'll be about to drop him. And he'll be like, okay, but like if I put out and give you blood right now, like would you still be putting up with me? And again, it's that toxic relationship kind of aspect.
It's like just Jersey Shore, dude. I thought I was watching Jersey Shore.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of how it feels. It's just like you suck, I suck, we don't get along, but like we get along with this one thing that we can do together. So we're just gonna keep hanging out and like putting up with that.
And as soon as it got to that point, I guess I started like enjoying this anime more.
Me too.
Because
it's funny.
Yeah,
like it's not explicitly funny, but like seeing them go through it is like hilarious.
Well, it just reminds me of a Miss Kobayashi. It just reminds me of a very...
You know what? I didn't think about that, but you're fucking right.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, it reminds me of a little bit more like raunchy. Raunchy. There you go, raunchy. Raunchy anime than Konosuba.
Right. Okay. I didn't think about Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid all week. I really didn't, and like I feel ashamed that I didn't.
No,
because you're right. You're really all right.
Because it does turn fun, and now that I don't know why it took me 6 episodes to turn my brain off from what I was watching, because for some reason I didn't have that idea. On me of what the fuck I was watching. I didn't have any expectations, and I guess I was just trying to look at this just like how we were watching the past like 3 shonens that we've seen.
Oh, yeah. We've been on a shonen rip, bro.
And then so I'm watching this, I'm like, what does this mean? What does the horniness mean? Oh, what? It's like, oh, it's just
V&A from the other dude. Aldo, what are you doing? Nothing! Don't come in here!
Bro, she was in the room, and I'm watching this like... And I'm like, "Are you listening to this?" She's like, "No." And then I'm like, okay.
"Good."
Okay, and then I'm like, "Okay, she's gonna start listening because I just asked that if she's listening."
You just snitched on yourself.
And then I'm watching, and then she's like, "I'm like, did you listen? Did you hear that?" It's like, yeah. It's just, I just wish like that the pervy jokes were not so much on the nose of like making somebody uncomfortable or a 14-year-old uncomfortable about his sexuality.
The joke is also that like Nazuna makes dick jokes and like sex jokes all the time, but like the minute you start talking about falling in love, she gets uncomfortable. Code's the opposite. Like he'll talk about falling in love, being in love, and how cool being in love is all day, every day. But the minute you start talking about like throwing some puss at him, he's just like, whoa, I'm uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
Which again, they're foils for each other, but I do think they're kind of perfect for each other. Is that weird to say? This is what the anime wants me to feel. And again, like, I resonated with Ko's character a little bit because that's what at 14 what I thought it meant to be an adult. You know what I mean? Like your sexuality, your virginity is nothing but a crutch, right? You're not an adult until you're out there fucking. Like,
Bumping uglies.
that's what like a lot of people at 14 think it means to be an adult, right? So then he meets this adult woman who goes out at night, drinks beer, goes to cool nightclub pool parties, and like is just playing all the video games she wants all day while he's at lame ass school. Like, that's a real fear for somebody at 14. That I don't want to grow up to be a lame, boring office adult. I want to go have fun, like the cool girl with pink hair.
Yeah, man, and it just feels a little bit crazier, like when we get to like probably episode 9, 10, where
I feel like there's a tonal shift at like 7, 8.
Oh, yeah.
Once the rest of the vampires are actually introduced.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he turns like this, and I'm like, I'm all of a sudden like super like into it.
Because you're right, there's like a lull. Like 1 or 2 are explaining the plot. 3 through like 5, 6 is just them going on dates, essentially.
Him being
right?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, just them going on dates because like he desperately wants to fall in love. She doesn't want to, but she'll keep putting up with him because like as long as she can keep him around and keep sucking his blood. So it's just like them going on dates and like, you know, kind of pushing like the limits of each other's bubbles, which is what like an early relationship is anyways. Okay. But then like once the other vampire females are introduced, it's just crazy. Like
We get a fight scene that is fucking wild, man.
yeah, somebody's arm gets ripped off.
Yeah, because we have a group of like 6 other like vampire girls.
I think it's 5.
5, and Sari being one of them.
Yeah.
Right? And Sari, for some
She
reason...
looks like a high schooler.
Yeah. She bumped into Kwokun
Yeah.
and just started like mesmerizing him, and I like that feeling of this like conversation sometimes, because it just reminds me of like that power that vampires have of like just talking you down.
Yeah.
And it wasn't explained, but like Nazuna does it to Ko all the time and shit like that.
Nazuna doesn't even realize it though. Nazuna's like dumb socially.
I don't know.
Like she's like the Ko explains it explicitly once he starts meeting other vampires and like other people that are associated with vampires. He's just like, those aren't the vampires I know. All the vampires I know are shiny and gorgeous and like that's a cool vampire aspect. It's like again the Dio thing. It's like you're the perfect being once you become a vampire. You're your best self once you're a vampire.
And she is about to bite him, and I love this like slow-mo like cuts or frames, because although being in slow motion, we see Nasuna like coming to the rescue like super fast. It reminds me of that scene in what's the new anime, the new isekai that we're watching?
Mashuko Tensei?
Mashuko Tensei, yeah, that one scene with the wolf girl.
Oh yeah, Jelaine.
Jelaine, yes, Jelaine. Crazy stuff.
I only know that because I read the light novels.
Yeah, sure. You should see that side of the room. and it reminds me a lot about that. And again, to the animation, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to look at.
I think the background animation's great. I think these fights that you're talking, which there's only like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But like I think those are great. But I really hate the character modeling. Like I hate Ko's like character design in general. I think he's super plain and boring looking. Nazuna's character model is supposed to be off-putting at first. Like she's got pink hair, it's done up and braided in like this weird abnormal way. She's got like bags almost under her eyes, but she's a vampire, so she also doesn't sleep. And like it's I don't know, it's just a lot of the characters look too regular anime. Like we even meet like Ko's best friend from middle school who's a girl, and she just looks like Ko with longer hair and tits.
Accurate. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is a girl self of this guy.
Yeah, and I didn't like that. I was like, I would have appreciated if the characters had some distinction between them.
I feel like I wasn't a lot into like the character design. But I guess just the way they were used, I guess that's why I didn't put attention on the character design. Because right now I'm trying to think about it. I'm like, I can't remember exactly how everybody looked. But the detective looked pretty cool. And
I like the detective.
And I like that the direction on the shift in the direction as far as like the scenery and stuff, like they made everything noir for her.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. You're right exactly. But like the major tonal shift is like once we meet like the actual like other 5 vampires that are acclimated with Nazuna, is that we learn that there's a time limit to this. Basically, a human will die a year after his blood is first sucked if he does not become a vampire. So, like, Nazuna feeding on him periodically, like, kind of almost doesn't matter. But from the first feeding, a year after that, he'll die if he doesn't become a vampire. So basically, he's on, like, a time crunch to fall in love. It's like, you know, like those like Netflix or the old MTV like reality shows where it's just like they stick some couples on an island and like fall in love or something stupid like that.
Or parental control.
Yeah. Stuff like that. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. So, and like to the character modeling point about like nobody being that distinct anyways, like 3 of the girl vampires that we meet in this new 5 like almost look exactly the same.
So 2 of them are twins.
Are they twins?
Are they sisters, right? 2
of them. They have different names.
Oh, I guess.
They all have different names. So I'm talking about Kobura Honda, Midori Kohokoba, and Hatsuka Suzuhiro.
Okay.
So, again, like, I feel like this anime would have been better as like a 24, 25 episode core because it being 13 episodes... I think there's real like time mismanagement when it comes to like storyboarding and like episode direction because like every episode essentially like ties in a new character and like reintroduces them into what Ko's doing with his nighttime life and his vampire girlfriend, right? So we get an episode with his middle school best friend, his other school middle best friend, and then like we get an episode for each of these vampire girls we're talking about. It's just like, oh, I thought it was weird that you guys were dating, but now that we learned that Ko's cool, like, we're all right with it. And that every episode has that same dynamic.
And in that sense, it reminded me of Rent-A-Girlfriend.
Yes, exactly. But, like, at that point, like, Call of the Night actually has, like, a bigger overarching plot. And if you were going to spend so much time doing individual introductions and individual episodes, a larger time frame would have actually helped a lot. Because right now, like our favorite 13 episode 12 episode anime are ones that like the beat moves, like we are running with the plot. And even the season finale for Call of the Night, which like it very clearly leads up that there's gonna be a season 2 at some point, but it's not really a season finale. It just kind of just ends. It's just another like, hey, you're going to go on this another sub-adventure with this other vampire in the middle of the night, and you're going to learn a little bit more about yourself and what it means to be in love and what it means to be like a sexually active adult. And then the episode ends, and they make a promise to try harder with each other. So it's the same as every other episode. I feel like that's very disappointing.
Yeah, I'm sure they animated some fireworks to it, and they were like, no, you know what? Let's not put it yet.
No, exactly. It almost feels like just like regular anime beat plots.
I had fun. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I had fun watching it. Man, I just can't put my finger on it. But like, if you have nothing to do,
if you
want to put it in the background,
if you miss the original FLCL a lot, I'd watch Call of the Night. If you miss the vibes for the original Monogatari series, I'd watch Call of the Night.
The intro and the outro, fuck.
Oh, I like the intro a lot. The intro is really, really, really good.
The intro reminds me of like the Ramones, like fucking Blitzkrieg Pop or some shit like that.
No, I agree.
Kind of shit. It was nice. It was good. The animation in the intro is fucking amazing too. Falling. I like. Oh shit!
I like that there's a like a music lag, like a beat lag, like because I don't think I skipped the intro one time, but there's like a 2-3 second like no music's playing and it's just everyone staring at a TV, and then it's just like falling, let's go falling, like and that's and like so like the song itself is essentially saying like let's fall in love. Let's fall into the night. Let's fall into adventure. So, like, yeah, I think it's a really good song that goes with the plot. Because, like, the season finale, the last 10 seconds is essentially, like, Nazuna kind of is getting feelings for Ko, because like he was just kind of like his fucking meat bag. He was just a walking penis that she wanted, right? Like, so like at a certain point, she's really like, that I haven't been being fair to you, so like she rededicates herself to him, and so like, you want to desperately fall in love with me. I don't want to lose you. I don't want you to die. I want this to keep going. So I will be all that I can so that you can fall in love with me and become a vampire.
Yeah.
And that's like the season. It's real. Like, I don't want to go over each individual episode because like most of the time none of them are about anything.
No, and I wasn't. I am gonna say though that I guess that's what I meant at the beginning. You don't really have to pay attention to the plot. You kind of do it, but you don't. And this is visually,
it's like Seinfeld.
Pretty cool. This is visually pretty cool. Yeah. And you can put it on a background at a party with some music.
All our nighttime nurses.
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Put this on. Everybody can't sleep.
Yeah, and by the time you watch it 5 times without paying attention, you know exactly what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, you're right.
And the music's good. The music's really good.
Yeah, that was Call of the Night. Y'all should watch it, especially like if you miss those vibes from the original FLCL. Mm-hmm. I've got some time. You want to do a nerd down?
Nerd down.
Nerd down. Nerd down. Welcome to the Nerd Down, where the nerds get down. Again, Drew Philip Elias, Aldo Mendez. Don't forget to leave a comment on our YouTube video. We may or may not care about our subscribers. And leave a written review or a 5-star review or a positive review on any podcast platform that you listen to us on, because that really does go a long way. Especially on what we're learning is that Pandora kind of like can just like instantly bump up your listens without trying. Like on accident, we can just accidentally get a bump up in listenerships in our audio only format via Pandora.
And thank you for everybody that keeps on listening. And actually, and watching too. We got a couple of subscribers this past week. That was pretty cool.
Woo,
you know,
67 subscribers.
Yeah, we had 1,200 views on one of the shorts, which played with our emotions early on the week.
Yeah.
Besides that, I mean, the Nerd Down, it's crazy because we don't have any comments on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter at Between Nerds, or our email at betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com.
We had one comment on Instagram. What was it? It was like same or
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
There we go.
Facts.
What were we talking about?
That was your comment on
the
Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen 0. But if you don't love your girlfriend enough,
Facts.
We love our girlfriends here at Between Nerds, and we love you nerds too. Thank you for all the mail that watches on YouTube. You know,
we would tell your girlfriends to watch us, please.
Yeah, tell a fellow nerd to watch us.
I do not care to have 100% of my viewership to be males. I do not care for that at all.
In that note, if you're a horny nerd, you should watch Call of the Night of what we just spoke of.
If you're a sad nerd that loves gore, you should watch Made in Abyss with us this week.
Yeah, Made in Abyss this week. It's gonna be pretty cool. I love when we have
Made in Abyss season 2.
Made in Abyss season 2. We talked about season 1 and the movie, and now in High Dive. Now in High Dive. High Dive, it's crazy. You just told me about it. I subscribed. You also gave me your Viz.
Yep. Get Viz account. Viz is the publisher for Shonen Jump.
I am now a weekly reader of different manga because Drew makes me.
Yeah. We love it. Yeah. Lately, Aldo's been taking home some of my manga volumes that I have up here. I'm not, forcing light novels or nothing on him. But the past 2 weeks, Aldo has read both Volume 1, which is the first 5 chapters of Chainsaw Man, and Volume 1 of Kaiju number 8, which is the first 4 chapters of Kaiju number 8.
Kaiju number 8, really cool, bro.
Did you like it?
Yeah, dude.
It's supposed to be having an anime adaptation next year.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy the way they work it together. That's really good. That's a good take on kaijus, bro.
Absolutely. It's a shonen, but like the protagonist is 32.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Did you notice he drinks Corona? Mm-hmm. I thought that was hilarious.
I don't like Corona.
Me neither. I saw a TikTok about there's a Japanese TikToker who reviews beers Most of them are North American beers,
Oh, yeah, I think
like
you sent it to us.
U.S. and North America.
A short? You sent us a short.
Oh yeah, it was a YouTube short. It wasn't a
was a
TikTok.
YouTube short,
Excuse me.
yeah.
And like he will actively shit on Japanese people that prefer Corona because it's the more widely available like Mexican beer. Because they love Mexican beer in Japan, apparently.
Yeah, I think the Heineken company has acquired like a lot of like Mexican beers.
Have they?
Corona-
Heineken?
I think.
I hate Heineken.
Yeah, I don't like Heineken. It
I hate the way it
skunky.
smells. I hate the way Heineken smells.
Corona, Mexican Corona, like at least has a hint of like a very herby like beer, but like Heineken, it's skunky.
When do we create the Between Nerds like beer tasting subchannel? That's what I'm wondering.
Hey, we can start today, bro. We can start every day after recording the Between Nerds podcast.
But anyways, Kaiju number 8's cool because like it's a different take on kaijus, right? Like
yeah.
it's like a Pacific Rim. Did you ever watch Pacific Rim? Guillermo del Toro again, like the best Mexican director probably to ever exist, the most successful Mexican director at least. He's got a Pinocchio movie coming out. He created a movie called Pacific Rim, which was like an original idea of him and his co-producer / writer. And it's basically like, what
and
if
I think currently working on the new Silent Hill.
I have no idea.
I think so.
I just know that he has a Pinocchio movie coming out.
Yeah, also that.
A stop motion Pinocchio movie.
I'm waiting for that. I heard the Disney Pinocchio was shit.
Yeah, I was probably. Well, I know the internet like made fun of it a lot, just the trailer. Yeah. And anyways, I'm relating Pacific Rim to Kaiju number 8 because the plot is basically the same, which is like, what if in the near distant future, kaiju's like a la Godzilla and stuff like that, just like really do exist and they just keep invading us all the time. So we have to create like kaiju defense task forces to like defend us, and like. It starts with like the underbelly of that idea, which is also touched on a little bit in Pacific Rim, which is like, cool, you've got these big robots and like guns and like all this stuff to fight the kaijus, but what about the aftermath? Who are the people cleaning up the kaiju like corpses?
We
and
should
stuff
bring
like that?
Jacob for that episode. 'Cause
Really?
It's very firefighter-y.
It kind of is.
You know what I'm saying? Like
A
those
task
units,
force,
the task force
yeah.
units is very firefighter. It's like cleanup crew, fucking firefighter crew, all this. You know what I'm saying?
We'll get them in a year and a half when Kaiju number 8 actually finishes.
Yeah. So wait for that. Wait, no, it's really good.
I like Kaiju number 8 a lot too, but like it also plays with like what is and is not a kaiju, because kaiju like should directly mean like giant monster, but like when he turns into a kaiju, he's still only like 6 feet tall. So
Yeah.
like he's not really a kaiju, but he's got the powers of a kaiju, which means he's super strong, can do big energy blasts, can like create seismic waves. Like I get it. Like it's a super. What if a superhero human became a kaiju? Like I get it.
So that's the only chapters you've read.
No, I've read all of them.
Oh, you read all of them?
There's 68.
So he stays like that the entire time.
Yes. Yes.
That's weird because I was confused about the same thing. I was like, I'm sure he's gonna get bigger somewhere.
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. And
It's still cool. I think it's still
an
cool.
interesting dynamic that does happen halfway through the manga is we introduce the idea of like the numbered kaijus are like the strongest kaijus, right? So it's called kaiju number 8 because like him being kaiju number 8 means there's only 7 kaijus before him that have ever been stronger. If Japan is attacked by a kaiju every single day for like 20, 30 years, that's a fuck ton of kaijus. There's only 7 kaijus to have ever been stronger than him if he's kaiju number 8. What we learn is that with the corpses of these numbered kaiju, they start creating like biological weapons with them. So at a certain point, the military starts being like, you want to fight me, kaiju number 8? I know you're a person and you've been a soldier with us this whole time, but I don't trust you, and I have the body armor of kaiju number 2, which means I'm gonna fuck you up. So it's just him getting fucked up with somebody, with a human with the power of a kaiju, essentially, because he's wearing the armor created from a kaiju.
It's like Doom.
Yes, it's like Doom.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's exactly like that. And it's like those chapters are crazy. You're just like, stop beating him up, please. Like you basically have an atomic weapon attached to your wrists, and you're punching a person with that. Like, stop, please.
Okay. No, that's great, dude.
What'd you think about the first volume of Chainsaw Man?
Chainsaw Man?
Yeah.
It was good. I like the arts.
You like the Testicle Devil?
That's a great panel. That's a great panel always. It's
I was disappointed. So episode 2 of Chainsaw Man came out this week, which like you already know the plot, but like they translated the testicle devil scene.
Oh, I saw your tweet. Yes.
They called it a ball devil.
No,
Nut devil. They said nut devil. I was so upset.
Which is funny, but it's not as funny.
It's not as funny as
testicle.
testicle devil.
Yeah. No, I thought it was really good. I feel like the motivations that drive the female protagonist is kind of weird.
You're talking about Maki?
Yes, the red hair girl.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna say nothing. I've read I know how Chainsaw Man ends. I've read all of Chainsaw Man, the first series. So like after chapter like 102, 103, that's when the creator went on a hiatus and kind of made like a new series.
Okay.
Which I haven't read any of that, but like
She gives me like Harvey Weinstein vibes.
Maki's not cool.
No? Okay.
So, like, it's funny because there's kind of like a meme being created on Twitter actively every week about this because it's like people that are anime only watching it be like, I like Maki. What's the issue with Maki? She's so hot and cool and she wants to feed him. She asks him to be her dog and his pet.
I'll be some bitch's dog.
And then all the manga onlys are like, you son of a bitch. Keep Maki out of your fucking mouth. She's the scum on the bottom of my shoe. She's the worst being to ever exist.
It's like the Griffith did nothing wrong kind of thing.
Kind of, but like it's funnier because it's this population that like doesn't know, and this population that does know. So like
always.
So it's hilarious. I love like the memes coming out of Chainsaw Man. I like the intro to Chainsaw Man so much. It's like all these like movie references are so tight.
No,
like these
really
are all your favorite movies, if anything.
Yeah, they're all my favorite movies.
Like it's Big Lebowski. It's
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs. It's
It has Pulp Fiction. It
yes.
has a lot of Scorsese shit. It has
Yeah,
The Godfather.
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like all that Scorsese shit. Yeah, exactly. It like I think it's super. So I had an issue that I was describing with Aldo about episode 1 of Chainsaw
CGI?
Man. It's apparently it's not CGI.
Not CGI?
Apparently it's not CGI. So like
I just saw that it wasn't CGI.
So, but it's still ugly. Like that's my thing. Like it's still ugly. So you watch episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. The zombies in the background are CGI. Okay, but I was describing to Aldo just like on a personal level, like. I watched episode 1 of Chainsaw Man. I think the actual Chainsaw Man character looks really fucking ugly in CGI when he turns into a demon. And like, but at the same time, I was like, I get it. Like they're trying to animate like the individual like cogs and streams and pipes going from his neck to his traps and like the actual. He's got 3 chainsaws in motion. I get it. That's difficult. That's hard. I understand. But like, so I said the CGI looked like shit. Apparently, this past week, these are hand-drawn frames, hand-drawn modeled figures.
The cell effect, dude.
Yes, and it's still ugly. Like that does not change my mind that it looks very.
Why do you think all the cell fights didn't happen? It was just like
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like, but then like again, like same fucking nerds on the internet. We have this fandom that's been like. Oh, like people don't want to accept that CGI exists and that it's ugly, and the other people are like, dude, like it's just not my cup of tea. Like I just really don't think it looks good.
Well, we can talk about the same thing with like She-Hulk. She-Hulk just wasted a lot of money just
Did
to
you finish
rip,
She-Hulk?
just to rip on nerds.
You finished it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the MCU is like spend a lot of money just to tell the nerds to fuck off.
Which I love that. Like
It's
I love
wild.
it. But like,
It's
isn't
wild.
that what the She-Hulk comic is like?
Well, it's because the She-Hulk. Yeah, it's because the She-Hulk comic. I don't know. Well, you watch Futurama.
Yes.
Remember that episode was like, she's a female lawyer.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
But like She-Hulk, I feel like as a show is very upfront about that because it's so meta.
it's
It's
'cause
just
that's
like
that's what
just a single fucking in New York.
that's
Like-
that's what She-Hulk was actually was. I mean, did it get some like cool cases like the murder case or like the Spider-Man case or
I like that Kevin Feige made like an appearance.
yeah, or like a Wolverine case. Like, was it cool to see that like in comic book? Like, oh, what's gonna happen? But she's still being like a sexually liberated woman on the side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I just watched Call of the Night. That's important.
Sexually liberated. Fuck, it's because I was gonna say slut, but I went from not saying slut because I didn't want to be a slut shamer. A sexually liberated woman.
Sexually liberated.
Yours.
Uptown Tespitarian. I don't know.
But anyways, that's what it was. That's what it was, and like just to see, because dude, the ending of She-Hulk was so like, what the fuck did I just watch? It was so intentionally bad that I was like, did MCU just really wasted all this money, spended all this money just to shit on nerds on the internet?
But like
it seems crazy to me.
In context, it's kind of shit. Like, it's not an easy watch. It's not fun. It's not funny. Like, but I think it kind of does serve a purpose to spend all that money because like the past 2-3 like MCU originals, the internet just instantly is like, it's about a woman, it's about a person of color, shut the fuck up, I hate this is the worst thing that ever exists, and they start review bombing and everyone starts bitching and complaining, and like I get it. So like at a certain point, the MCU like actually taking into account this internet discourse is just like, yo, we are going to fuck y'all up. Like, you are a fucking loser nerd if you give a flying fuck about this continuity about an MCU original show on Disney Plus. And like I liked that. Like I liked that level of meta-ness. It's just like, dude, you are annoying and no one likes you. And this is why no one likes you kind of mentality. This is like these same kind of nerds love characters like Deadpool, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool, especially after like the influence from like the She-Hulk season finale, I could see Deadpool 3, which is being produced by Disney currently with Hugh Jackman and everybody. Like, I could see them throwing this part of into it. Like, you guys care so much about like all these male characters and these male-centric jokes and like white comic book reader jokes that at a certain point, like, you're such an easy target to make fun of at this point.
You know what? And that's why. It's okay. It's just water, bro. No, but honestly, the same thing with, I don't know if you heard. I don't know what his name is. He's a scumbag. I don't know if it's the same person, but the guy that made the Black Thor. And like all his dialogue was like, "Oh yeah, Asgardian is my hood," and all this.
Jesus,
and just like
super bigoted
kind of writing. It's the same writing you see from like the creator, and like I'm saying, I don't know if it's the same guy, but it's like the same guy from the Boys.
Oh, okay.
The comics are shit, bro. The comics is just shittier than what you think of the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the show being 70-80% like a shock factor.
Yeah.
It carries a little bit on the story. It does carry a little bit on the story, but like, yeah, this fucking nerds. And I don't know, and Disney just serving these nerds a She-Hulk only to put Deadpool in the universe. From what I saw, that's the only reason they made this show.
And to make Matt Murdock like actually in the MCU.
Correct.
Which I liked. I love that so much.
Correct.
Like,
and for them to, and I was having fun, dude.
And then people started complaining about that Matt Murdock character because he's like, he's not emo and sad and like,
there was no chances for him to be emo, bro. He was having a date. He
fucked She-Hulk, bro. He was in a great mood,
he was
bro.
Like, the night calls me. I can't fucking
exactly.
Right now.
They wanted Batman.
Yeah.
Like,
and but yeah, like she's just fucking murdered, and like all these nerds are mad that she's twerking, that she's having fun at a wedding, that she doesn't care about the guy that fucked her and just ghosted her. And you know what I'm saying? It's very fun to me to watch that shit. I don't know.
I like when nerds are mad, especially like okay. So again, tying it back to the main body of this episode, like Call of the Night is about like maybe not becoming this loser virgin nerd permanently on the internet because you want to be part of the night and part of culture and actually interact with people and have fun,
which is better
than like what these other nerds are doing, right? Because it's just like, I'm so smart, everyone else is stupid, but I just stay like locked up in my room on my PC all day. Like, you're the problem and you don't even get it. Which like, and I think that's in Call of the Night's favor. Like, Call of the Night is like really telling people like, get out of your bubble.
Yeah, I mean, and it's crazy because you guys don't know this, but I recently been like working at a school,
Okay.
and like it's so weird to see all the different kinds of kids,
Nerds.
and they're so nerdy, and they're so kids, and it's weird because you can tell who was like really pandemic affected compared to who
don't say
wasn't
that.
really pandemic affected. And like they're just for themselves.
They just saw nobody for 2 years.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, that makes
Yeah.
me sad. Don't say that.
No, yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
And you should be with people, because at some point you're gonna be hung up on what you think. You don't have any more input into your head, so you're like, yeah, I'm right. yeah, yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
Just like watching Tucker Carlson for affirmation on your views.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrible.
No, yeah.
On Friday, I
Some
got.
I see the other. I see the kids that try too. I see the kids that try to like be involved in a little group.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's cool. It's weird. You see everything. It's wild. And I feel like it had to do a lot with my input in Call of the Night, because he's a 14-year-old, and I'm like 14-year-old, and I'm like that's like that student, like that's like that student. I'm like, that's weird.
I,
Weird.
I think like, well, I already said it, but like for real, when I was in 14, I was just like, oh, I can't wait for just to like lose my virginity
I
to
could be
anything.
puss
Like
right now, but I'm not.
just like I can't wait to be an adult that has sex. Isn't that what it means to be an adult? This is the end all be all of my life.
That was wild.
And but I was gonna say something. On last Friday, I ordered some more manga volumes. Darling in the Franxx is doing a manga volume release, so maybe they're gonna fix the issues we had with Darling in the Franxx in its original anime run. I handed you Gunbeard Sisters Volume 1. I ordered Gunbeard Sisters Volume 2, which is again some
More porn.
it's about vampires. I did it for the sake of Halloween. We're still in October, and but it's about the Catholic Church trying to fight the vampire overlords. Which, like, I know that feels strongly for you. In front of us is Mushoku Tensei Volume 9. Rudy still has erectile dysfunction, and hopefully he solves it in this volume. I'm about like a fifth of the way done, and no luck so far.
Damn.
Which I think is hilarious. I think it's funny that Mushoku Tensei being like our favorite isekai ever, right? And it's like the perfect magic system, and like all we did was talk up about it, and like nerds still flamed us for not getting every detail perfect.
Hey, it's something to be passionate about. It's something to be passionate about, and I'm sorry we didn't just talk at the same level of passion that you have for this fucking book, or the anime. But like, yeah, we saw your comments, and we just see it because we also know what you're talking
Actually,
about.
he was a god tier sword bladesmith.
We know. We watch anime during a week's time. It's okay.
But like, I think what's going to become an issue when it comes to season 2 of Mushoku Tensei is that like I think Volume 7 is really cool because it's about him spending 2 years out in the northern wilderness, like adventuring by himself essentially after like Eris and what's his face left him, and like. But then, like, volumes 8 and 9 and 10 seem like they're just going to be about him in Magic High School.
Okay.
It like, I don't know if that's going to become redundant and boring to the audience. Because, like, I don't know. That's a really big tonal shift. And especially because, like, Mushoku Tensei, it wasn't a gripe. It's more like just, like, this weird quirk about Mushoku Tensei is that like the MC is just horny like all the time. So then like just making the main motivation being like, hey, I have erectile dysfunction and I'm gonna go to magic school to try to fix that is like a really weird fucking like concept.
Yeah, it's like getting it's like getting
I have ED, I'm going to medical school.
Yeah, it's like getting ED and like creating Viagra. It's like, I did it.
Yeah, I did it. I did it. Which that's what it's turning into, and it's so funny. But
he was
like,
part of the group, is like super happy about
I
it.
did it, guys. Then like that thoughty elf from his dad's party in the first
Elfie?
No, it's something with an E. It's like Elfie Ed or I don't know.
Elfie, the friend.
No, not the chick with the green hair. The blonde girl that was in his dad's adventuring party.
Oh, yes, got you.
That's her name's Elise or something like
Yeah.
that. I think that's her name. She goes to magic school with him to pick up young teenage boys because she's cursed to have sex. Like, if she does not, then her curse will literally kill her.
Have you ever seen Black Snake Moan?
What the fuck did you... Is that a porn title, Aldo Mendez? I don't know what you just said to me.
It is a non-porn title.
Okay.
It is a movie with Samuel L. Jackson and Nicole Richie.
They did porn together?
No, it is about a sex addict, Nicole Richie.
Oh, I
And-
know what you're talking about. I feel like I've seen trailers to this before.
It's a wild movie, dude, and how you're describing that it just reminded me of that title. It's weird because Samuel L. Jackson killed his wife because he cheated on him, but he's out of prison now, so he's just like a good, don't bother me old man of town,
Yeah.
you know. And like he finds Nicole Richie being like, just fuck me, bro, and he cures her sickness.
By fucking her?
No, by chaining her, like she has like a heavy ass chain around her, like just for the perimeter of the house. So she feeds herself. She goes to the restroom, but she's like on this thing because it's almost like a druggie.
This is a terrible transition. But so we're watching Made in Best season 2 this week. You made me watch episode 1 of season 2 before we came into this episode. And you told me it was just a fuck fest and just raunchy and terrible immediately. But I wasn't even surprised. I was like, it's Made in Best. Like I don't know what you were expecting.
Well,
But-
I mean, I'm surprised of how bad of expectations you had to not be surprised.
Oh, I did. Oh, I had
You know
terrible
what I'm saying?
expectations, especially
Yeah.
after the movie. No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
No,
after the movie, I should have not been so secure.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what the fuck you were expecting. So like episode 1, this is just some. This is the prelude to our discussion next episode, right? Like the first 30 seconds has a child rape scene in Made in Abyss season 2 episode 1. And I was watching it with Karen before you came over, and instantly she's just like, "What the fuck is this? What the fucking like? What in God's name is this?"
I see a lot of YouTubers do like a whole like warning before a video when they talk about explicit themes. Should we do that?
I don't know.
Cause this shit is heavy, dude.
Maybe before like the body of next episode's discussion, because like we know it's bad. Like it's amazing. Like it's like a 10 out of 10 anime, but like the themes it goes over and it tries to dissect and like it shits on they're very, very adult. Like so adult that like you don't want to be a part of it. Like it's like
The Pianist, or like The Schindler's List, or like
I was gonna say Human Centipede. Like,
well, and that too. Like imagine The Schindler's List with like a combination of this Human Centipede.
oh
Yeah.
I'm not watching that movie. Like
We're watching that anime, and that's
Oh God, it's so uncomfortable. It's so terrible. It's so evil.
Yeah.
Like it's just the worst things to ever exist. Like
Yeah.
it's just so it like what's terrible is like the character models and like character designs are so like childish and they look like those Christian
Super
kids
innocent
novel
kids.
books. Like they're so innocent looking and they're just going through the worst things
like
imaginable.
Moral Oral. Remember Moral Oral?
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
remember. I've watched literally every episode
Moral
more or
Oral
like 5,
is
6 times.
crazy.
Terrible, absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
like his dad's fucking prostitutes. Like it's just, but like it's the guys of like pretending to be a good Christian like Protestant family. Like terrible,
Crazy.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah. What else do we got? You've been watching. We'll talk about this next Nerd Down. Next
Okay.
Nerd Down we have. I'm watching House of the Dragon.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
catching up to you because I want to watch.
I don't know how you're gonna watch what like 13 hours of television.
Oh, I'll watch 13 hours of television.
Okay.
Yeah, I look up after kids. I have that.
That's true. That's
I
true.
have that time.
Okay. We'll talk about House of the Dragon.
Next time.
We're recording on the 23rd. The season finale comes out today. By the time you all are listening to this episode, it will have already been out. So
And
yeah,
we'll have it for the Nerd Down next episode.
Okay.
Next time we do a Nerd Down, because we not always have a Nerd Down because scheduling. And shit.
yeah, you got it. You got it. Okay. Made in Abyss, and the week after Made in Abyss, we're going to be watching Cyberpunk Edge Runners, the Netflix original, because I'm still playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, you still are. This is episode 115, so we only have 5 to season finale.
Oh god.
So if we already have Made in Abyss and then Cyberpunk, we have 3 animes to put before our season ends.
Give us your feedback. Please email us, betweennerdspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you want us all to talk about. I know that our friend Christopher James told us to watch Blue Lock, but Blue Lock is still only like 3 episodes in, so maybe we'll save that for February because it's technically a soccer anime. I'd be down to watch...
February or March?
March, excuse me. For March Madness, because we do all our sports anime in March. And I'd be down to watch the subsequent season of Haiku, because we're like way behind on Haiku.
Yeah, we need to bring up the March Madness up.
Yeah. We could like pre-pro the March Madness month.
Absolutely. And like this episode on Call of Night, you were talking about off mic. You're like, I wish I would have put this like on the February.
Yeah.
Not because we didn't like it or
because
we liked it
Februaries
a lot.
are like Valentine's theme month.
Correct. Yeah, it's just like Philly month. So that makes completely sense.
What I'm hoping is by February, the movie for Fruits Basket, which is a prequel to the main series, is out on Crunchyroll or something, so that we can bring back our friend Rachel to talk about it.
Definitely.
Because that movie did numbers. It did significant numbers, and like we loved the final season of Fruits Basket.
Hell yeah. You know what? You know what I want to do? I want to watch season 2 of Food Wars.
Okay.
And if I can, probably recreate some of the dishes made there, and we can try them here.
Okay.
I mean, nothing
right.
big, like
right.
compartmentalized.
Hey, Aldo's trying to cook for me. Y'all heard it.
He's gonna eat some baked soup, and he's gonna like it.
Hey, yo.
He's gonna like it.
And, okay, I'm down. So then we only need to try to find one more. So that's Haiku, that's season 2 of Food Wars, and then we'll figure out the rest. It don't matter. My name's Drulius. This is Aldo Mendez. This has been Between
Nerds.